Okay, so I want to talk a few minutes about bias and about how to tell if a study is biased. And sometimes a study is biased because of who does the study or why they do the study. And I want you to just look to see, who is doing the study and why. So I found this study that said dark chocolate may help reduce stress levels. Isn't that the coolest thing you've ever seen? And I'm like, heck yeah, dark chocolate may help reduce stress levels. Boom! And then you look to see who did the study. Who did the study? Nestle? Yeah. What does Nestle make? Chocolate. You think they might be a little bit biased? Yeah, y'all nod and smile. Yeah. Also, look to see what else might be wrong with this study. Okay. 30 healthy adults for 2 weeks. 30 healthy adults for 2 weeks. That's kind of a teeny tiny little sample. Could that be a problem too? Yeah, there's everything wrong with that study. Am I still going to eat dark chocolate? Yes. Anybody in here taking chemistry? Okay. Yeah. The chemistry instructor gave me a cupcake that was made with dark chocolate yesterday, and I'm like, heck yeah, that's reducing my stress level. Boom. Okay, but anyway, who did the study? Here's another one. Silicon is good for you, especially in beer. That's interesting. I like beer. Do I need to drink silicon in order to get my beer? Do I need to drink beer in order to get silicon? I don't know. Let's look at this. Okay, who did this study? Researchers at UC Davis, University of California at Davis. Okay, sounds really important. Let's look at this. Okay, you keep going down. Look. Okay, who did this study? Charles Bamforth, the endowed professor, Anheuser-Busch endowed professor. Okay, Anheuser-Busch, what do they make? They make beer. They make Coors. Okay, do you think they might be a little bit biased, y'all? Yeah, I think so. They might be. Also, here's the real deal. Silicon, you get enough silicon if you just eat a slice of bread, a couple of strawberries. You don't need a beer in order to get your silicon. It's just sort of this trace mineral that you can get from pretty much just eating anything. He just did this study. Okay, so I want you to look to see who does the study. Who's getting paid? Why are they biased? Okay, the other thing I want us to talk about is the difference in an experiment versus an observational study. Okay, an experiment, let's see if I can find my notes. An experiment is when you are doing something as the researcher. You are applying some kind of treatment, and then you proceed to observe its effect on subjects. And in an observational study, you just observe and measure characteristics, but you don't attempt to modify anything. You're just sort of looking at things. So for an example, an observational study might be a poll where you're not given any kind of treatment. You're just like, how many people are going to vote for Joe Biden in the next election? That would be an observational study. How many people are vegetarian? You're just sort of taking a poll, but you're not doing any kind of treatment. Does that make sense? And in an experiment, you're actually given a, some kind of treatment. So like in the largest public health experiment ever conducted, over 200,000 children were given the Salk vaccine, where other children were given a placebo, and that was when they were given the vaccine for polio. When you're actually given a vaccine, when you're actually given a treatment. Okay. So let me give you a couple of examples. Okay, here's a crazy one. Okay, so 9-year-old Emily Rosa was the author of an article in the Journal of the American Medical Association. That was a big old deal. And she tested professional touch therapists. Okay, that's crazy mess. She used a cardboard partition and she held her hand above the therapist's hand. Okay, and the therapist was asked to identify which hand that Emily chose. So she did this, and they were like, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. Would that be an experiment or would that be an observational study? That's crazy mess too. Okay, that's crazy. But is she doing a treatment or is she just observing stuff? She's just observing stuff. That's an observational study. Okay. In a test of the effectiveness of echinacea on 707 cases of upper respiratory tract infection, children with 337 cases were given echinacea and 370 cases were given placebos. Would that be an experiment or an observational study? Okay, y'all have got to talk to me, so everybody say it. An experiment. Okay, here's one that will make you cringe because it's wrong. In a morally and criminally wrong study, 399 black men with syphilis were not given a treatment that could have cured them. The intent was to learn about the effectiveness of syphilis on black men. The subjects were initially treated with small amounts of bismuth and mercury, but those treatments were replaced with aspirin. Would that be an experiment or an observational study? Experiment. Okay, y'all are starting to talk to me a little bit. We're getting there. We are getting there. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Very good. Okay. All right.